Before we jump into this video, I'm proud to announce I'll be at the British Grand Prix in just under 2 weeks' time, and you can join me. Yes, our channel sponsor Bybit is offering 2 all-expenses-paid trips, including paddock passes, for the British Grand Prix. All you have to do is click the link in my description or bio and deposit $10 onto the platform, and you'll automatically be entered into this insane competition. And currently, they're offering 0 fees when you deposit using a debit or credit card for the quickest and cheapest way to deposit onto the platform. Full terms and conditions can be found down below in the description below, but hurry, you've only got until June 22nd to get yourself entered, and with a bit of luck, I'll be seeing you at Silverstone. Hello everyone, and welcome back guys to a brand new video, where today we're here back with round 13 of Season 3 of the F1 2021 Williams Road to Glory. Yes, just 4 races to go of the season, and today we head to the iconic Suzuka circuit. Of course, if you missed out on the last video that went live over the weekend, I would highly recommend going back and checking out From the Temple of Speed at Monza. And yeah, of course, there will be spoilers in just a moment. But as always, though, a massive thank you to all of you guys for the continued support. 55,000 subscribers, that's been ticked off the list. We're making good progress towards 56k, and of course 60k right around the corner as well. So, you know, if you're new around here and you're not already, and you want to help us get one step closer, that would be greatly appreciated. Of course, this time next week, we'll be on F1 22, so you definitely don't want to miss out on that as well there. But having a look then at the Drivers' World Championship, after a strong weekend out in Monza, we lead the way for the first time this year there with an 11-point gap over Max Verstappen. Hamilton and Perez had both quite rough weekends there, so they're now 36 and 39 points adrift as we head into the final 4 races of the year. But it is all still to play for. It is officially a 4-car race for the championship, though. And I mean, there's another, really from Bottas down to Daniel Ricciardo, they're all duking out for 5th place as well there. So there's a lot still to play for at this stage of the campaign there. 10 points separate us and Mercedes as well, and another 10 points separates McLaren and Ferrari. So there's a lot going on in the final 4 races of the year. Today we head to Suzuka, though, before we head to South America to finish off the campaign. Let's get into it then here from Japan. Right, well here we are then, qualifying day for the Japanese Grand Prix, then round 13 of a 16-race season. It kind of feels a bit like an old-school F1 season, you know, we've got no sort of races to finish off the year in the Middle East, anything like that, you know. I think the last race in Brazil, I'm pretty certain is actually going to be the last video we do on F1 2021, so yeah, I thought Brazil is probably a pretty good place to finish off a career mode here. But as we head through the S's, I mean, we've still got 3 more races to go before we get to Interlagos, and the championship is still wide open at the moment, especially between myself and Max Verstappen. I'm just praying we don't get... Well, I was going to pray we don't do that as well. Please don't hit me. Thank you. Yeah, I was kind of praying that we won't have the same bad luck as we seem to get in that career mode at the moment, as I feel like I might have been too casual about... What is wrong with me? I keep doing this in qualifying at the moment, and I don't know why. Yeah, it's about the 3rd video in a row now on F1 2021 where I seem to have looped it around in qualifying but got away with it. Anyway, let's now properly try and go for a sweat mode lap then. Suzuka is a track where you've absolutely got to be on it, so fingers crossed now we can try and get our first proper benchmark on the board. We've got to try and qualify near the front, but that is much easier said than done at this stage of the campaign. I still cannot help but feel like slowly the car performance is getting away from us. Ooh, just skim the curbs through there. That's a bit ragged through the S's, but we've hung on to it. Still feel all the bumps here at Suzuka. I don't know whether it is a lot smoother in real life or not. I don't remember this track being as bumpy on iRacing. At least they got rid of the bump down at the final corner, but some of the ones still around here. You know, it is an old school circuit, but I do wonder just how bumpy parts of it are. Up towards the line. The first lap, P4, that's actually pretty good there, not far away from Max Verstappen. Okay, so we're on the money then. That's better than I honestly thought we'd do. I mean, somehow now, Pierre Gasly is currently the man fastest as everyone heads out for their final runs here of qualifying, but he's only 3/10 clear of us, so we could genuinely be within a shot of pole here at Suzuka. Probably the most difficult track to try and get a lap hooked up on F1 2021, just due to the precision required through a lot of the corners there and the nature of the curbs, but let's just keep trying to push them. Really just slide the car wide through turn 1 and make sure it just grips back up. Tuck it in through turn 2. Through the S's again. Going to avoid the curbs like the plague here. Apart from that one, apparently. And that is going to throw away just a little bit of time there. Getting a little bit unhappy through the first sector. Again, want to try and avoid that curb on the exit. And I thought we got a better run out of Dunlop, but apparently not. Down in towards the Degners. Just attack the curbs run nice and wide through the first part. Opens up the run through the second. And then use that exit curb there. Valtteri Bottas now fastest onto a 26.9. We are now in the green, but not by much here as we try and put the power down. Oh, I didn't get the best run out of Spoon. We're still only about half a tenth up as we head down in towards the final couple of corners. But look at that, Verstappen is not much higher than us at the moment. He's currently down in P6 as we get towards the end of qualifying. Just got to try and nail the run through the Casio triangle there. Attack the curbs on the way in and on the way out. And up towards the line, we have found a lot more delta then. It is going to be a 3/10 improvement. That's 5th. Quicker than Max. I'll take it. Yeah, I can't help but wonder if we'd nailed that final lap where we could have been on the grid there. But Valtteri Bottas and Pierre Gasly are front row here at Suzuka. Who would have predicted that before we went into qualifying there? But George Russell again outside of the top 10 there. How has he seemingly slipped back towards the Aston Martins and the Alpines this late on in the year? But Hamilton and Perez just in front of me. We're ahead of Max Verstappen though, so as long as we can try and pull out some points ahead of him this weekend, we can walk away happy. Let's get into it then here in Japan. Formula 1 is finally back in 2022, and now you can rep your favourite teams. Of course, using the F1 store, every team now has merch lineups available, whether you're an Aston Martin fan, a Williams fan, Mercedes, Ferrari, Red Bull, the choice is completely up to you. But yeah, check out the F1 merch store down below for all the official releases from all of the teams. And of course, as always, if you use our links as well, you massively help support the channel. So yeah, give it a look and see if there's anything you like.
We come to you live today from the Mie Prefecture in the south of Japan's Honshu Island for a race that has seen many title deciders over the years. Some simple, some controversial, but all contributing to a legacy that makes the Japanese Grand Prix an indispensable stop in any Formula 1 season. A lap of this historic racetrack covers 3.6 miles, and it's the only time during the season that we race on a figure-of-8 racetrack. The drivers can expect some intense G-forces through the 18 corners on offer here as they experience some of the highest average apex speeds on the Formula 1 calendar. And keep an eye out for overtakes going into the final chicane. Anthony Davidson, a very warm welcome to you as you join me in the commentary box for today's event. Let's talk about Mr. Monaco. What do you make of their performance so far this season?
It's been a really solid year so far. There have been some incredible standout performances, but what's really impressed me has been the consistency. With this kind of form, I'm expecting another great race today.
Before we begin, let's take a quick look at the grid lineup for today's race. Good job yesterday from Valtteri Bottas. The Finn starts from pole position, and it's Pierre Gasly in P2. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Perez, Hamilton, Mr. Monaco and Leclerc, Verstappen, Norris, Sainz and Kimi Raikkonen, Ricciardo, Russell, Lance Stroll and Tsunoda, Joe, Mick Schumacher, Esteban Ocon, they've taken a grid penalty, and Antonio Giovinazzi, Mazepin and Nicholas Latifi. Now, it's almost time for lights out, so let's go down to the track.
After the points finish last race, let's aim to keep the momentum going.
Yep, that's what we got to do. Keep the momentum going as we head into the final few races of the year here. But here we are then on the grid, ready for the Japanese Grand Prix, round 13 of 16, sorry, of this crazy season. You know, it's been absolutely wild up to now, and honestly been one of the most fun championships I've done on this game there. But of course, soft medium, especially around a track like Suzuka, I don't even want to think about using those hard tyres around this venue. Fingers crossed we can keep it clean and tidy here today, and let's try and get a good result on the board there. If we can extend the gap over Max, I will walk away very, very happy indeed. 5 red lights, and it is going to be lights out, and away we go. And actually not the worst start as we head down towards turn 1, but there goes Verstappen. Down around the outside in towards the first corner there, and I'm not going to let him have it that easily. There's a little bit of contact between us there as the Dutchman tried to turn in, but had to be aggressive off the start here in Suzuka because we don't know what that Red Bull's race pace is going to be like there. But more importantly, look at the front. Pierre Gasly takes the lead here of the Japanese Grand Prix very, very early on there. Of course, we've seen AlphaTauri win before in this career mode. Of course, Kimi Räikkönen took the win last year in Spain, as apparently I'm going to take to the gravel trap through the Degners. But yeah, could Pierre Gasly have some solid race pace today? I mean, Mercedes now second and third off the start. So Hamilton and Perez, they both want to try and take points out of me in the championship battle as well this weekend. But Pierre Gasly, though, how could he spice things up in the final 4 races of this year? He spent a lot of time in the My Team series doing that as well in the AlphaTauri. Just absolutely lighting it up and well overachieving in that car there. And then since then, Lando Norris has very much done the same in that career mode. But yeah, Charles Leclerc, though, currently now just the man in front of me. So things haven't changed too drastically off the start there. Of course, we've just lost the place to Charles, but we've got a lot of top-end speed, though, over the Ferrari as we head through 130R. I really thought about going for a send through that final corner there as we attack the curves on the exit of the Casio Triangle, but Pierre Gasly leads the way at the end of lap 1. Honda's home race, of course. I'm sure they'd love to try and get a win on the board, as I think Verstappen, he must have got front wing damage there from that bit of contact down at turn 2. I mean, we kind of leapt back to the inside of the Dutchman, but I didn't think he'd pick up front wing damage from it. We've got absolutely out of it scot-free, at least based on the feeling through the S's. But Verstappen now down to the rear of the field. That is heartbreaking for him around a track that's very difficult to overtake. I'll be honest, early on in this race, we're just losing touch slightly of Charles Leclerc in front of us here. I'm just trying to get into a rhythm, everything like that. But yeah, really just starting to wonder. We've already seen it with George Russell. He's completely fell off back into the midfield late on in the year. I feel like we have definitely performed a lot better than George throughout the entirety of this season. There's definitely a bit of a teammate curse on F1 2021. But yeah, at the moment, though, just trying to hang on inside the DRS of Charles. Just dropping back a little bit more than I'd like to early on. But Gasly going really strong up towards the front of the field there. That AlphaTauri is legitimately race win pace today as we go purple final sector.
What we have left. Start using the car's drag to slow you down ahead of the braking line by just lifting off the throttle briefly before you start to actively brake. That'll help.
Jeff definitely has dementia on F1 2021. I cannot believe the amount of times he's told me that. So there we go. Verstappen down but not out. New fast lap of the day there. 7/10 clear of what I was able to do. I don't know what tyres he's on either. As you would expect, though, we seem to gain a lot of time on Charles Leclerc through the middle and final sector, but sector 1 we are losing absolute bags of time. As well, that was not the line through 130. That got a little bit sketchy. Still somehow getting it slowed down undramatically through the Casio Triangle. But yeah, just got back up. Come on, don't loop it round, please, at this stage of the day. There we go, in sub 130. We're going to try and push Charles towards the inside as we get back down towards turn 1. Round the outside, Kimi Räikkönen style. Charles Leclerc not wanting to back out of it. I just couldn't quite commit that time round. We can't have any contact here. We know how easy it is to pick up damage in this career mode. As what bad strategy the team going to recommend? Yep, that's pretty awful. Well, one stop still, thank you, on the mediums. Clearly, though, they're a bit worried about tyre wear, which is not reassuring. Anyway, let's even go again on Charles if we can break him out of the DRS of Perez. Right, even closer to Charles Leclerc this time round then. Are we going to see a Schumacher-Alonso style move as we head down in towards 130? Oh no, haven't quite got the speed on the way in, but we'll try and get underneath him on the exit. Oh, Charles Leclerc, he wanted to cut me off there. We just dip a wheel on the grass through the final chicane there, and we'll try and put the power down on the exit. Not quite able to get the hammer down as well as I would have liked. And again, we've both got the DRS, though, with Charles Leclerc going to go defensive back down towards turn 1, but we'll get to the inside there before we get into the braking zone. Charles Leclerc turns in on me. There is a little bit of contact that time round, but I think it was tyre face to tyre face. And that ended up accidentally being a lot more of an aggressive an overtake than I ever wanted it to be. It was just because Charles turned in and kind of dragged us both out. But yeah, up now to P5 then. Probably, yeah, one of my bravest moves I think we've done on F1 2021 there. Just waited for the end of the pit lane and just took the gap further on the inside. Only I could say I don't want to do a risky overtake on F1 2021 and then almost immediately do what Schumacher did to Barrichello, but to myself down towards the first corner there. Unfortunately, all that battling with Charles meant Perez is at the DRS.
You'll be on the mediums.
We're going to try and go to about lap 11, lap 12 here, and then go mediums to the end. But yeah, at the moment, though, we've just got to try and get back within the range. Seems like the race pace is slowly coming on, but it's not as strong as it's been over, I mean, a lot more. Japan's a really weird circuit, or Suzuka even, I should say, because, of course, it's quite high speed, but it's weirdly not much of an engine track still, because, of course, it's all high downforce. So you kind of obviously need the power to get towards the top end, but then you kind of carry that speed around a lot of the tracks, so it's not as important. It's a bit of a weird one, but what I'm trying to get at is it's probably not a track that suits our car in the same way Monza or Spa would.
Push now. We're boxing this lap.
Oh, Charles Leclerc into the pits end at the end of lap 9, as both of us are really just struggling to match the time set by the top 4 at the moment. Team 1 us in, but of course we're going to extend the stint just a little bit further into the afternoon, has really taken the risks using those curbs through the S's. Such an iconic set of corners, but they're just so scary and completely the wrong way on F1 2021. Not because they're scary, not because they're challenging, but just because the curbs will kill you if you even look at them funny. But anyway, yeah, trying to get towards Perez, but not going to be long before all these guys box as well. Whether anyone's going to gamble on the mediums, we shall wait and see. Oh, there we go. Hamilton into the box as well as Pierre Gasly then at the end of lap 10. So strategy is starting to come into play there as we go purple through the final sector. Hamilton's gone to mediums though, so that's very interesting to see. Gasly's done the same there, so whether are they going to try and get to the end from there? That would be quite an aggressive strategy.
Behind by around a second a lap.
Not impossible, but certainly aggressive there by the AI. They're probably going to box end of lap 12. So it looks like neither Hamilton or Pierre Gasly have come out in dirty air there, so they're still going to have pretty good running until they close up to the Aston Martin and the Alpine in front. I'm guessing these two now are both going to box. There goes Bottas, there goes Perez into the pits. So we're going to try and extend this stint 1 lap longer. We need to push now and see if we can try and maybe look at an overcut. It's going to be close. Just using the last of the battery then as we head down into the Casio Triangle here. Gasly has taken a little bit of time out of me, but got to be careful on the way into the pits. Just about getting it slowed down there on the way into the lane. I don't think we'll have overcut anyone. I'm looking at it. Like I said, the gaps have stayed pretty level. I've told the team do not change the front wing either, just in case they decide to do something stupid.
Exit now.
Or apparently it's just going to be me doing something stupid there as we don't put the car back in gear. But there goes Pierre Gasly, and I think we are just going to re-emerge exactly where we were.
Okay, stay clear of the white line on the exit.
Not even sure we've taken any time out of him. I mean, Leclerc's on hard, so he's going to be in for a long second half of this race. I think we've taken a bit of time out of Checo, though. Maybe him and Hamilton sort of tripped over each other on pit exit. If we can just get back within the DRS range, that would be nice. But, yeah, still over half a race to go here. Right, and look at this then, all over the back of Sergio Perez. I don't know if he's got some issues in that Red Bull at the moment as we go purple through Sector 2, because he seems to have dropped off Hamilton slightly more than I was expecting there, as you can just see how much curb we're going to take out of the final corner. Gasly goes fastest, though, as we head up towards the line, and Perez has got no DRS to defend himself. He's going to be a sitting duck, so we head all over the bumps back down towards Turn 1 there, but we do now inherit P4 of the Grand Prix there, so ahead of both Red Bulls now.
Brilliant. Nice.
Don't want to loop it then around by myself immediately. But Hamilton now 1.4 up the road. He's going to have some DRS still off Bottas, and maybe Checo will try and come back at me there. As you can just see, he was looking for it through the S's. Luckily, we tend to be slow where the AI can't really make moves. Oh, there we go. New fastest lap of the day. 3/10 clear of Lewis Hamilton, as just briefly then we were under the 1 second mark. But Perez still within 1 second of me. Are we going to drag him back up to Hamilton? I mean, can we get close enough to Hamilton? We've kind of used that first lap where these medium tyres are absolutely switched on. And they're hardly bad now, but they're not quite the same. Now within the 1 second marker, Hamilton, just 11 laps to go.
18.4 seconds.
Oh, George. Why? What's happened, mate? Tell me about it. But anyway, yeah, a little bit of a mistake through Turn 1. We can get close to the Mercs, but I'm struggling to see anywhere where we can make something happen against Hamilton. That's not going to help me out either. Avoid that second curve as well. Oh, it's still scary every time you do that. Lap 19, trying to get a good run on Hamilton as we head back down towards Turn 1 there. But you just see with the DRS, we can't take anything out of the Mercedes there. He seems to brake a lot earlier. into that first corner. But yeah, at the moment, I'm a little bit worried. This is starting to turn into Zandvoort 2.0. I mean, in many ways, they're quite similar tracks. High speed, high downforce, with not much room for overtaking. I just can't find a way around Hamilton if he's going to stay in the DRS of Bottas to the end. I mean, it's not quite like Monza last time around, where they spent the whole day battling. But yeah, Bottas is losing touch, actually. Not badly, but I don't think he's within the range of Pierre up the road. So at the moment, we're just a bit stuck, which is very rare. But this is the problem, when all the other teams have got the manoeuvrability to upgrade their car, and we've done everything we can, we just seem to be slipping back at the moment with 4 races to go. Be really, really aggressive at the moment, all over Hamilton's gearbox. As we head at a spoon, this lap the tyres just seem to have had a little bit more bite in them once more, and Hamilton's dropped back slightly behind Bottas just up the road. Not going to be able to get a run. Whoa! Hamilton lifting off into 130R then. Not an idea what that was all about, whether he was just sort of trying to control the pace. Of course, he famously did that at Spa a few years back to stop Sebastian Vettel getting a run way back in 2017, if you remember, even if you were watching Formula 1 all the way back then. But luckily, I think we lifted out early enough that we haven't got wing damage. But Hamilton, yeah, just a little bit sketchy lines there. He's done the same back into turn 1. So I reckon he just doesn't quite have the confidence in that Merc. But that really compromised a potential massive run into the Casio Triangle. Don't do that, Matt. Please, I beg. I think Bottas now has definitely dipped out of the DRS range, though, from Pierre Gasly, because Hamilton was much closer when we got back down into turn 1 there. I'm still just trying to keep an eye on Verstappen. He's just behind. Oh, that's going to help us.
DRS is offline. The rear wing is down, so you can stay out while we work on a fix.
I mean, at least it's not an engine failure like we keep getting in the My Team series, but that's going to make things even more difficult here as we get very close to Hamilton. Again, just not quite close enough to send it at the moment. But yeah, like I was saying, Verstappen now just up behind an Aston Martin and I think an Alpine. It's that next gaggle of cars that separate him from the points. So we might be able to still scrape a couple here. As look at that, we can't do anything now.
Need to last till the end of the race.
We've got slightly fresher rubber still than all the cars in front of us. But, oh, Hamilton, bit of a lock up there through turn 2. But yeah, unless we can try and get a run down into the Casio Triangle, we're going to really struggle now in the final 5 laps without DRS. Really trying to stick close to Hamilton now with 3 laps to go. So we've got yellow flags out. Someone's having issues towards the rear of the field, but using all the curbing as we head through Spooner. I think now for Romeo, he's either dropping to the wayside or has looped it. I have no idea what's going on there, as we're going to try and get a run again on Hamilton down in towards 130 as again he just lifts out there, and I was trying to tuck back into the slipstream at the same time. I wonder if we try to keep the nose there at the inside, whether he either would have lifted and jumped out of the way, or would have lifted and turned in there, and there could have been an airplane crash. But we're going to try and use battery back down towards turn 1. You can just see we can't do anything. We're just losing distance to him at the moment because we cannot get the DRS to work. 3 laps to go here from Suzuka. I mean, we're still in a pretty good position in the championship to extend the gap today, but still, it just is so annoying. You want all the points. You want a podium here at Japan, and it's not looking like it's going to happen unless we get a miracle or the DRS back online. Oh, that time round, Hamilton again just braking a little bit early. But I worry now if we go for a move, which we can't even do into the braking zone there, we're going to try and switch back again on the exit of the corner. I mean, he's still going to have the DRS off Bottas. We just can't do anything there. We can see we've even got more speed. As we head out of the final corner, we're practically pushing him along. And then Hamilton, the gap just opens up there as again he lifts out earlier. I was expecting into turn 1 and it's just hung on to the DRS there. But Checo now is getting very close with 2 laps to go here. Perhaps he's just looked after the tyres and might try and pick me off when I'm vulnerable. Right, about to start the final lap then here from Suzuka. I mean, Hamilton now is definitely going full deploy. So we head through 130R there. I've never seen him pull away that much down in towards the final lap though. And I mean, yeah, so far today though, it's been a weird and wonderful race, but we've absolutely had to push to the limit. And unfortunately, I can't help but feel like we could have deserved a little bit more. Hamilton, new fast lap of the day. Perez goes even faster there. Is Checo going to be able to get close on the final lap of the Grand Prix there? Verstappen's had a nightmare. Of course, that contact with us down at turn 1, and sometimes the Dutchman's got to learn. You can't always hang on to the places. Sometimes to go forwards, You have to go backwards just a little bit there because I knew we had to send it on him down at the first corner, and he saw me on the inside and still decided to try and turn in. But at the moment, yeah, unless we get a miracle, unless Hamilton's drained all of his battery, I think we're going to struggle to do anything on the final lap of this Grand Prix. We've pushed hard, but like I've said, you know, this Williams, as everyone else is still able to find upgrades, we need more money pumped into the team if we want to be able to carry this on in the future. But, I mean, really, we probably should talk about the man of the hour, Pierre Gasly. Just missed out on pole in qualifying yesterday. Valtteri Bottas snuck it away right at the end of the session by a tenth of a second. But Pierre took the lead on the run down towards Delmont. That is an awful line through Spoon. And has just never looked back today. Hasn't dominated, but has just controlled the race from the front there. And it looks like Pierre Gasly is going to become our fifth different winner of the year after both Red Bulls, myself, Hamilton, and now Pierre Gasly there. It's going to be a win for Honda Power, but certainly not the one they were expecting this weekend. Pierre Gasly back on top once more in Formula 1 here at Suzuka, and we can only manage P4 in the end.
That's the end of the race. We'll see you in Parc Fermé.
Another action-packed Japanese Grand Prix comes to an end. And what a magnificent drive to take the win here today. Tell me, Ant, how did they manage to achieve this win?
Well, they certainly stood out as a driver with tons of confidence on the track. I think their ability to keep their cool, even during some of the more hectic parts of the race, meant they were able to capitalise on the mistakes of other drivers, giving them the opportunity to make their way to the top spot with ease.
Our winners are heading to the podium right now. AlphaTauri have done an exceptional job when it comes to forging new talent and seeing them take home the victory. Today is a huge positive for the future of the sport. Mr. Monaco increases their championship lead. Let's focus on the driver of the day. Anthony Davidson, who do you pick?
I'll probably go for Pierre Gasly. The team did a good job with the strategy to put him in amongst the pack, but it's the driver's job to capitalise on those opportunities, and he did so with a lot of skill.
It's time to see how things are shaping up in the Constructors' Championship. It was a tough race for our championship leaders who lose ground at the top of the table. There was also a strong showing from the Mercedes team today as they make their way up the standings. After an event like that, who knows what the sport has in store for us next time? Be sure to join us again as we continue to bring you the latest excitement in Formula 1.
Well, there we are then, the end of the Japanese Grand Prix, and like I said, felt like we could have had a bit more from the race today. 5th to 4th on paper doesn't make it sound very exciting, and to be fair, there weren't many overtakes, but it was certainly a good race nonetheless there. Pierre Gasly out on top when all is said and done there, just under 2 seconds clear of Valtteri Bottas there. And I mean, top 5 separated by 3.5 seconds at the checkered flag is certainly not bad going there. George Russell, P9, means he does pick up a couple of points for the team. And yeah, Max Verstappen down in P14 there. A torrid day out for the Dutchman. Has not had the best run of form over the last few race weekends there. Championship-wise, though, does mean, as we head into the final few races of the year there, 3 races to go, the gap 23 points at the front of the championship there. Hamilton 33 back and Checo 41, so he needs a good run if he wants to try and stay in this title battle. Pierre Gasly, though, leaps back up into P6 there ahead of Lando Norris. Charles Leclerc gets the jump on George Russell there, and Bottas just looks to be trying to sort of push himself away from that huge gaggle of cars battling it out for now what is probably P6 or P7 in the championship. Sadly, though, for us, the inevitable has happened. Mercedes jump us in the Constructors' Championship. We're really going to need a miracle or George Russell to pull his finger out in the final 3 races of the campaign there. But AlphaTauri, I mean, 21 points away from McLaren. If Pierre can keep that up in the final few races of the year, they could definitely still snooker away P4 in the championship. But thank you all so much for watching this video. If you have enjoyed it, please do make sure to leave a like, get yourselves subscribed as well, and we'll return very, very soon with more F1 2021 content. None of these videos would be possible without the help of our channel members, so a massive thank you to all of the names you see on your screens currently for helping support the channel. You can join them by clicking the join button down below, and yeah, thank you once again to everyone that continues all the insane support on my work.